beautiful people. This is take 2 of this episode because I made actually a kick-ass episode when I was walking the other day, but my crunching was way too loud. I actually recorded then another video today which has crunching in it, but I'm not re-recording it because it's so good. So I am leaving it as it is. No, I have not downloaded anything to fix that. It just seems like way more stress. So you can go turn down the volume. I'm sure that will help. That one is called The Unpredictability in Relationships. So I thought it had really good material, unscripted, which I've been practicing doing lately. Okay, so today, in today's video with my lovely prom here, I think this is a perfect moment and time in my life to record what I would say. It's not low points, but I think because this has to do with me moving to the country, and it should be, I use the word should be, a happy time, right? But there's a lot of moving parts. I don't remember it being like this before, and so this would be our second house. I almost want to say third, but second and final. And there are a lot of people involved. So there's a lot of communication stuff, problems going on between people. And I myself, people, still have communication issues. And I try and learning every day how to be more clear, including on here. So I thought this was a perfect time to record a moment where my emotions aren't so high, my vibration isn't so high, even though I talk about being a normal person when I say normal average person that goes through stuff, and I may appear that I'm always in a good mood or laughing and being extroverted and funny and all that sort of stuff. But this is actually has been going on for such a long period of time with my, I would almost say, down emotions. Music is still helping me and different things like that, but it's becoming almost, again, essential at this point to be doing lengthier meditations, which I fall off and on again. But I think this episode is going to be really good. I'm going to try to not interject too many details from my past upbringing, because that's not the point of this, while there is there's purpose to me explaining why this is a big deal and me documenting my life, right? Basically going from country girl to city, back to country. And I'm documenting my journey. I really like the whole idea. While I haven't started as young as age 6 or 7, where I remember it would go, right? Like from 6 to 19, 19 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, right? Even though I'm just 47 now, almost going to be 50. So that will be another stage, right? So I'm going into this next stage of my journey, going from an introvert to becoming more extroverted. I still feel I'm very introverted and love being alone and all that sort of stuff, but I respect community, being around that, and I really was not sure how my mental health was going to do going out to the country. So in Pennsylvania, it was actually called Stewartstown. I've never announced where that was, that I grew up, but I was in a neighborhood, but it was very rural. So we did not have a street light. We had like one small convenience store in elementary school, but everything was about 20 or 30 minutes away. It's about almost 30, I don't know to say an hour to Baltimore, but my dad commuted every day, right? And pretty much all white community. Those that were of color of any sorts were either adopted, except our family. So there was no cultural connection, and that's where it comes into my story about comparing myself, not feeling white enough, also in the media, right? That's where all the roots of my story come from. So basically, coming to California and all this sort of stuff, my journey through meeting all this mismatch of people and personalities, personality disorders, I kind of knew I'd go back to the country sort of feel, and it's pretty country-ish. While we do have a neighbor right next door to us, but there's a restaurant 6 minutes away. There's things that are drivable. You just can't. They're just not like right there conveniently, right? and it's right by the water. And so lots of great, magnificent things, but I really didn't know at this stage in life whether I would enjoy it or not, right? Or like, I'm so used to training X amount of days a week, and a lot of stuff has changed over the past 6 years. I'm not training as much, different things like that. I'm really gonna have to stay disciplined. At least at this point now, I can still train at least once a week. Okay, so long story short is coming from where I came from, the country, feeling sheltered, also having a dad who made a lot of decisions for me, and that introvert, not having social skills, things like that. Like I said, it felt like my dad, sheltered me. He was strict in a lot of ways, and over time he got like less. He's like a different person now, 84 or whatever he is now, that I like get so lost. I'm like, is he 74 or 84? And I just keep thinking 1942 is born. Okay, so I also community, like there's something. So what I wanted to share, then to talk to myself, to you all, just from my experience and perspective, is that psychologically something has happened. It probably has also something to do, this is the next stage of life, right, where I've evolved and grown, and it had a lot to do with not feeling safe in the world, which goes back to my abandonment issues. So that's also why probably community number one, has been important in my involvement, in something about being surrounded by it. So, right, safety, security, comfort, something. And not feeling isolated. And it's interesting because my mom became actually more mentally ill. This was in my 20s, due to isolation, but she really never went anywhere ever. And my stepdad was working all of the time, driving truck after the Air Force. So it's interesting that you would think it would be moving into the country away from people, this sort of isolation, that's what would happen, right? My mental health might go downhill. And I know that might not even make sense, because you're like, well, you have a husband and a daughter, but like, that's why I said the part of like on our own journey, like I have to continue living as though I have a sense of freedom, and that I can still connect and have it on even a basic level, right? This isn't about social, it's a certain level, I guess, of socializing. I have plenty, I can entertain myself just fine, but there's something obviously that my soul still needs to experience, right? And that is within the world. It's just now I can choose when I want to involve myself. So I think what I also wanted to say is interesting to me is that the past 5 years, what I've gone through in my career, and even with clients I feel like have been removed from my life, they weren't bad people, they weren't toxic people, but I feel like they were removed, right? And they were like friends to me, long time, 20 years. So it's no wonder, right, I've gone through some points of depression. I realize that now, to put a label on it, because again, like I said, it's like all these things that can make me bitter, I'm believing in my calling and my mission work to be going into this next stage of life that I'm sharing with you, where I know there's areas I can be content with, working at these certain places and still fulfilling what I need to do. And one of them being hands-on healing. I can totally build a place in the back, right? Do facials. Need very little, have very little overhead, people, right? So I can still, I don't care if I'm working on 2 people or 10 people, it doesn't really matter, because I'll still be able to be hands-on. And I'm known for my face massage, so I'll still be able to do that, and it's all going to be my own, for lack of a better word, it is a good word, like Zen sanctuary. So, one thing, I'm sorry, I have to stand up because, I had to check my, I thought I left the water running, because we're checking our filtering situation. Okay. Being bitter, right, about these people being removed from my life, and feeling just lonely with that connection. Even with my clients doing facials with them, they were my friends and I was connecting, right, socializing. and nobody's reaching out again, or just like, I don't want to be the only one efforting, right, in these past relationships. And we might end up again connecting, so that's going to be magnificent, right? I'm really obsessed, or really like that word lately, magnificent. I don't know why. So, lastly, we could look at all of this as like, oh, it's the next stage or phase, Nora, of your life. Yeah, I know that I should be happy. I should all these things, right? Should, supposed to feel excitement. But it's very difficult, I should say easy, to put myself in that emotional state when I feel like there's so many emotions at once. I don't know what to feel because there is still probably fear of the unknown. And that's why I want to continue. I will continue to document because this is fascinating to me. Like I said, to enjoy going out. Like, I'm looking forward to it, really excited to go away from people earlier in life, which I wasn't sure that I would feel like this, to be by the water, to, maybe getting some animals, doing things, low maintenance, and looking forward to those things. And like I said, it should be a happy time. It should be all of that. I feel like it should be. But I also find it fascinating because as much as I love to help others, which I can do online, which is totally fine, it's like I feel like I'm going away from the world physically, and I'm wondering how I'm going to feel. And again, the fear of the unknowns of just whatever. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? Something called enjoying life, which I feel like I just don't enjoy enough. Like I've said before, I know that I am in a happy state when I am laughing or having a few drinks and enjoying that part of that, because it does make me laugh and not think, because I'm so intense. I feel like I'm so dramatic. I feel like I'm all of these things that don't involve what I would say enjoying life. It's almost like the whole motto of the pain is information is just how I've always lived. Like, that's normal to me, you know? And these different levels of stress that come up and down, it's just all about how much you want to take on, how you deal with it, and that's the bottom line of it. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and I'm going to also work on maybe little clip episodes. I keep saying that. I keep saying like 15 minutes or less. I feel like it's got to be at least 15 minutes, people, for me to give you the substance, the tips, the whatever the message is. I mean, I think probably if I only did something for 5 minutes or was cracking up a joke about something, people might not even listen to those because of the expectation that there's always going to be some sort of story or something. And I'm definitely, though, don't talk about enough funny stuff on here. And funny stuff does happen, please, people. Funny shit. So I usually create a story out of something, or I'm able to make a joke out of something, but you guys don't really ever get to see those sides of me, which I think that will make people laugh. Now, becoming such a shit talker in life on different levels, and how I've just strengthened myself there due to one of the kings in life, masters of shit talking. So just wanted to share this moment in time with you in my life, and I'll tell you how it goes. So emotional ups and downs, I look at them as temporary, try to look at them as temporary, but I have to constantly maintain how to keep myself up, because I do know when I'm not feeling good. I don't like feeling like that. But this is reality for me right now, and this too shall pass, as they say. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.